I think we'll start with some pictures and something like just to get your initial thoughts, and yeah, you won't really know. They're off the cuff. We'll start with the first one.
I'm interested to know whether Macy knows who this is.
No.
No? Well, it's Relsan.
Yeah,
I heard Fran say it. She was really a true pioneer of what we all do today.
She's kind of known as one of the greatest water women of all time and surfed everything that she rode with
Big waves,
an amazing
waves.
style.
Yeah.
One piece, on trend. Wendy both are. Wendy for me, she sort of epitomises probably more the commercialisation of women's surfing. She had the sponsors with Cheetah Swimwear and some covers, Playboy namely. She certainly got a fair bit of attention for women's surfing.
I think these days girls are really promoting themselves in, little bikinis, and I have friends personally who struggle with, self-image, and it's hard for them, but I think at that time it was really cool. It was like a breakout of, instead of being just like an athlete, but you can also be, hot, and she showed that to the world, so that was kind of cool.
I can't work out who it is.
84, lives near my neck of the woods.
I could say Pam, but it just is different.
It's Pam Burridge.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful image.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
I like it.
For me, it sort of reflects that I feel like everyone who has had, or most people who have had a career in professional surfing have always tried something different. And so across your 10 years, now you're very active and athletic, but at the start it was all very much the lifestyle, and then there's that growing up phase. And I remember you did a shoot with Stab that was more this sort of,
Yeah.
sexy, edgier side. You kind of become a woman under the spotlight, and a part of that is you growing up and finding out what you are comfortable with.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I wonder for Pam whether this was more, whether she's advertising the jewellery and it was that sort of angle for someone outside of the industry, or whether it was her going, I am a woman, I want to embrace that.
Yeah, it's very feminine and beautiful.
Oh, well, this one's pretty applicable. Working with one of the icons of our sport, won 7 world titles, Lane Beachley, what was it like?
Goodness, I started working for Lane when I was 21, and it was meant to be for 3 months, and it ended up being for almost 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah, and so when I was working for her, she started her foundation, the Aim for the Stars Foundation. She started running the richest women's surfing event in the history of the sport with $100,000 prize money, and then she went on to win her 7 world titles. So that is quite, I guess you could say, an adventure really. There's so much that happens in that period of time. I think back then we didn't know that we were building a Lane Beachley brand. She was just being Lane, because that's Lane, right? She just sets goals and goes, yep, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, you can help me, great, let's go ahead and do it. So it's pretty inspiring stuff.
I took a lot of inspiration from Lane, I think, back on her timeline, and I saw the footprint she left on the sport, and in a sense I guess we both jumped off the conveyor belt of what's supposed to happen and how you're supposed to play out your career, and I just had that feeling that I wanted to stand on my own 2 feet, and that I had done my apprenticeship.
I think when Lane left her sponsor Billabong, that was a real turning point for her, in that she then did own her own brand without really knowing it, that she did that. So anything that she put out to the world was her choice, a reflection of her, and certainly too that raised some questions of, well, how do you keep yourself still prevalent in the media when you don't have the support of a big industry sponsor behind you? Because industry sponsors do that. They keep you at the forefront, they keep you connected to the surf industry, to the print media and the likes, and that is where you get your notoriety. So all of a sudden she is slightly isolated, yet the go-to, the face of women's surfing.
Oh, this is awesome.
Oh.
This is...
KK's hardcore.
Oh, she's so gnarly. Gnarliest person I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
First time in Hawaii, I was 13, 14. First time out Pipeline. It was the day after, I was just after the event, paddled out, and she was sitting out the very top of the lineup. All the guys were around her, and she paddled into an absolute bomb, and I was pretty much at the sandbank, just hoping I wouldn't die out there. And she'd call off all the guys and just tell them to go to where they belong and stuff like that. But yeah, she was a boss. She was really cool, and I liked it. She was sick.
Yeah.
She was strong.
Where were you when Blue Crush happened?
Oh my God.
Blue Crush.
Best movie of all time.
Really?
I watched it on repeat for like 3 weeks straight.
There were certainly some cringe-worthy moments in it, just because when you know surfing and you see the Hollywood side of it.
It's very stereotyped.
Yes, yeah, but for what it did, and I guess now we look at all these female empowerment movies and documentaries and the likes, it kind of was ahead of its time that it took these girls and put them out at Pipeline and just went, this is normal, this is a young girl going for her dreams. And it's a great thing. What that did for our sport and for females, I think, is probably a little underrated. It's just so interesting to look back at these images, because I feel like each day I'm just in the now, and especially you, Macy, with such a bright future ahead of you, and then Sal, you're living it, and it's easy to forget what came before us. So it's really nice to have this moment of reflection of the people who have paved the pathway for us.